Okay, so welcome everybody. This is the September koha-US web dev sig. So Kelly, we talked about it at our koha conference, a little snippet of code that I made for our self-checkout that lets you do branch limitation without being logged in on the OPAC. So just share that to the recording so that people can see what I did. And um, let me. Oh wow, you're screen 3 today. I wonder what's going on there. Hold on, let me clean up my windows a little bit. Screen 3 there. So you're seeing my C combined, right? Okay. And then the self-checkout is here. Why? I'm not logged in. I don't know. That was weird. So the thing that I added was this drop down. So the drop down is like hard coded right now because I only have 2 libraries. Technically only one, but I needed a public library to test with as well. And what that drop down does, if you look in the application window, in the inspector, you can see local storage and session storage. So in my local storage for cconfine.org, when I select something from here, it stores that in the logged in library libcode cookie. So that's getting stored in the browser itself so that I guess I don't know if it's technically a cookie or not. It's getting stored in the browser though, so that it can remember what branch code I'm using while I'm using the self-checkout. And then when I log in, so I was at Iola at that point, so it's just our standard self-check. Refresh it and log in at Sports Scott Community College. Now you can see it's Fort Scott Community College stored, so I'm able to look at that, leverage that, and do different things. So for them, since they're at college, I've set it up so they can punch in student ID numbers, and I've got a whole bunch of extra code in the background doing weird stuff with that to do prepending and things. But bottom line, it makes it so they can just scan in their student ID and hit submit, and it'll take them in without needing the weird pre-printed card number they probably don't even know exists. So the code that makes that work is mostly my OPAC user JS. Oh, nope. It's got to be in the self. Some of it's in the OPAC user JS. That login screen is there. So I'll have to find it. Maybe it's all in the self-checkout.
Just let you know the recording's paused.
Let's just do this. So self-check has its own JavaScript box. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, so this is messy. But it's this part there. I'll make it more visible. Okay, so we're checking if we're on the main page of the self-checkout, and it's the login page. There's like double redundancy there, so I don't put it in weird places. And then this is just building the drop down. This part is like when that drop down changes, we're setting the logged in library code to the value within the drop down. So the values you can see are blank for choose library, Iola for Iola public. So those are my branch codes. So Iola is Iola. And then Fort Scott Community College is that for FDS So whenever that thing I built changes, this is the part that's storing it in the browser. And then I assign that to a variable. So call it logged in lib, and that's what we leverage. So, and this part right here is making that part, making the drop down stick. So when I go back to it, since I picked it, it's in there. When I come back to the page again, it knows that I picked it and it sticks. And then this part is the second part of the code where it was putting something in special just for Fort Scott Community College. So it's saying that if I'm in the self-checkout, figure out what that stored variable is from the browser, from local storage. And then if it's Fort Scott Community College, I want it to do this stuff. So I want it to remove some stuff. I want to add the little extra boxes and the toggles and all that junk. And then this is the extra bit of code that does that padding where it was like prepending and stuff. So I can paste that into like, I don't think I put it on the wiki yet. One of my one of my goals for 2025 is to not do anything except document everything. So like this sort of stuff I want to get on the wiki if I can, and I want to open bugs if I can, so that like it's not just in my brain. So but I can share this in just a paste if you want to
Yeah, that would
play
be
with
great.
it.
Thank you.
Post that in chat. And some of the stuff I do, and this is part of what I want to talk about next week, is like some of it makes sense as a bug. Like I think this one makes sense, where you could have an unlogged in branch code for your OPAC, but a lot of the other stuff I do is not. I mean, it needs customized. It's custom to our codes and things, so it doesn't make so much sense to share it everywhere, and that's why I haven't done it for everything. But I think that's also the importance of having that ability in Koha. So
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you.
sure. George let me know that he wasn't coming today, so we don't know what he's gonna have for lunch. But maybe next month we'll catch up with him. Is there other stuff people want to talk about web dev wise? The other thing we talked about at conference was the baby dev sig at the web dev sig. So I'm excited about that one. I did get my dev box like running, but I don't know what to do with it. So hopefully we can get another meeting going for that.
I haven't managed to get to that yet. And do we have another meeting set or?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Lizette was gonna work with the koha-US administration and stuff to get the list set up and get a static time and things. I haven't heard one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I know she's going to Montreal next week too, so she's probably not focused on that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've done that's interesting. Like yesterday, I know I had to adjust some of my code. So we're a consortium and we had an issue where libraries could delete messages from other libraries or couldn't delete patron messages from libraries, depending on who put it on where. So I have some code that switches that all up so that the patron's home branch has to match the logged in branch instead of the staff member that placed it has to be able to delete it or something. There's a system preference involved, and I had to like finagle that, but I only changed it on the cert homepage and not the details page. So yesterday I had to fix that. And I know that with the upgrade, the major thing I'm gonna have to deal with is changing report links everywhere. Because we haven't upgraded. We'll be upgrading the first week of October. So that's gonna be an all-nighter because I have them every which place. That's kind of what's been on my brain. I other things on my to-do list. I do want to add that branch selector drop down to the kids OPAC as well, because I think that makes sense there for, since we're using it as a browsing kiosk. It doesn't really make sense for it to search the entire collection. So it'd be nice to be able to filter to just the collection that they're standing next to. There was something else that I need to do. Oh, somebody wanted a quick slip print button on the checkout screen outside of the print drop down, because you've got print and exit and you've got just exit. They want like quick slip and exit. But that should be easy enough to do. I just haven't had time to work on it. I sent Lucas the link, but I guess he got sidetracked too. So I don't know if he had anything to share or not. So Barbara, are you an early adopter, or Kelly? Anybody?
Yeah,
You guys did. Did
Yeah.
did anything break when you switched as far as custom stuff?
Not anything really custom. It was just a lot of acquisitions problems. So,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, I can't remember exactly. We ran into some things that turned out to be bugs and, you know, they got all that fixed, but I don't think much of our custom stuff broke. We did have to update the report links. But it was pretty good this time, I think.
That's good. Maybe it'll just be a half of an all-nighter then, instead of a whole all-nighter. Yeah, for me, I think it's the links in the reports that are going to be the worst, because I've got hyperlink stuff in the reports and I've got too many reports. It might be an opportunity to just delete some reports on the way instead of fixing everything. The stuff in the jQuery should be easy enough to copy or like find and replace. And I've got a few pages. I've got reports linked in HTML customization areas. So I just have to like run them all down because there's too many, which is what I get for being accommodating, I guess. I was trying to look and see if there was anything else. I am excited that the reports strip the HTML now, because there's several places where I've got two reports, so that I have one with the links hyperlinked and one's without. So that'll cut down on some of my reports too. Not specifically WebDev, but there's HTML involved, so we can count it, right? Yeah, I guess that's all I got for this month. If nobody else has anything, we can have a quick meeting. We made it 20 minutes and showed off something cool. Hopefully people thought. So, yeah. Good. Chanel, John, anything you want to add?
Nope, just lurking.
Okay, that's fair. Excellent. We like lurkers. I too am a lurker. Uh, um, when given the chance. So, Kelly, I see you unmuted. Anything last minute to add there?
No, I got nothing.
All right. Well, we will reconvene next month. Hopefully, my brain will be a little less scattered. But if not, we'll do this same thing.
All
And
right.
just if you do cool stuff in the meantime, make note and bring it to show off. Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next month.